Conversation. Conversation.
Yes, the program is Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 right in the city of Ibadan. Of course, yes, Conversation, like you know, is us from our end here, additional stories making the rounds from the newspapers across the country and beyond the shores of the country, and we making our own opinions and views known. Not the corporate views of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, and of course, you out there, contributing to this little talk shop via the phone lines when the time comes. And of course, yes, and you always know, and like I always say, when you want to contribute, go straight to the point and no foul languages. And yes, we are networking Okeogun 96.3 FM and Agility 92.1 FM. And of course, you check us up on Facebook, you'll meet us there. And well, live streaming 98.5, Oluyole 98.5. Yes, you'll meet us there. And of course, no station beats that reach. The program is Conversation. Limba Kobi is my name. Yes, just have two newspapers here with me, the Punch and the Tribune. I'm sure another paper will arrive soon. Yes, before I go straight to, we go straight to the stories. Let me quickly go through some headlines here. Atiku vows 2027 fight as court clears Mark-led ADC. That is a kind of a rubble that is about to rumble. And Mark Arigbeshola's emergence meets ADC rules, Electoral Act. Court declares ADC chair celebrates court victory, urges united opposition, and government's plot to weaken opposition will fail, says Atiku. I don't know why is former President Atiku Abubakar always blaming government. Always blaming government of trying to destabilize opposition political parties. I don't know. PDP factions in fresh clash over INEC nomination forms, and U.S. pulls troops from Nigeria after IC's deputies' killings. Yes, they did their job and they left the scene. That's the spirit of the United States for you. Knox Trail Ghost Presidential Council. Yes, talking about the courts, ADC court rulings. And Atiku Dalong CSO raised questions. Conflict funding shortfalls push northern Nigeria hunger crisis to worst level. That is according to a United States agency. And shock as Ogun Ifa priest sets self on fire, dies. Well, the circumstances surrounding that we will get to know in the course of this program. And Imo CP mourns as 2 cops die in patrol crash and 2 killed as suspected others raid Benue community. Well, we'll bring more of we'll delve more into those stories and other stories after this short timeout. Stay with us.
Conversation. 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 Conversation.
Yes, the program is still Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 in Ibadan. Yes, like I read earlier some of the headlines that I took earlier, talking about the rulings of the courts, talking about the ADC. Now, I think problem is brewing here. The Federal High Court, Abuja, on Thursday, affirmed David Mark's leadership of the opposition African Democratic Congress, a ruling the party welcomed, even as former Vice President Atiku Abubakar said he would continue his pursuit of the 2027 presidency. I don't know why former Vice President Atiku Abubakar is so desperate to be president. Fine, he might have good intentions, but why is he so desperate to get to that presidency? I don't know. Under the PDP at first, some other parties too, now the ADC, and now he's been toppled again. Well, Atiku described the judgment which dismissed a suit filed by a member of the House of Representatives, Leke Abejide, as victory for constitutional democracy and the rejection of attempts to use the judiciary for political ends. And delivering judgment on Thursday, Justice Musa Liman upheld the preliminary objections raised by the ADC, its former national chairman Ralph Nwosu Mark, and the party's national secretary Rauf Alegbeshola. And the judge held that the court lacked jurisdiction to entertain the matter because it bordered on the internal affairs of a political party, which he described as non-justifiable. And Justice Liman also ruled that Abejide lacked the legal standing to institute the suit, having failed to demonstrate how his rights were violated by the emergence of the current ADC leadership. He further held that the lawmaker did not exhaust the party's internal dispute resolution mechanism before approaching the court. And the judge equally resolved the issues raised in the substantive suit in favor of the defendants. And on the illegality of the emergence of Mark and Aregbeshola as the party's leaders, Justice Liman held that the transfer of leadership by Nwosu did not contravene the ADC constitution. And well, it goes on and on. And well, reacting in a statement on public communications, the senior special assistant on public communications, that is talking about maybe I think the national chairman of the party, that is Frank Shaibu. Atiku said the court deserved commendation for upholding legal principles on jurisdiction, local standing, and internal party dispute mechanisms. Well, that is a kind of crude to me here. The court could not have been clearer. It rightly held that the matter borders on the internal affairs of the ADC, that the Federal High Court lacks jurisdiction, and that the plaintiffs neither exhausted the internal remedies provided by the party's constitution nor established the local standing required to invoke the jurisdiction of the court. An article described the judgment as a boost for the rule of law amid what he called sustained pressure on opposition parties. Well, I don't really understand what is going on here. David Mark is now the leader of the opposition African Democratic Congress, which former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and will be president of the presidential candidate of the ADC. Yes, he's saying that he will continue to pursue the 2027 presidency. Well, I don't know this is a clash of the titans. We will see how it unfolds, but what I am still saying and what I am pointing out now here is that why is former Vice President Atiku Abubakar still desperate to be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? He might have his reasons, he might have good intentions, but I think at this stage, at his age, he should be a kind of godfather for some people. That is my own opinion. And yes, of course, this one says the Federal Capital Territory Minister, the Grand Master Planner, Nyesom Wike backed People's Democratic Party and the Tanimo Turake San-led faction engaged in a war of words over the emergence of rival Independent National Electoral Commission nomination forms, conflicting candidates lists, and other issues arising from the party's primaries ahead of the 2027 general elections. People's Democratic Party National Publicity Secretary Jungudu Mohammed, in an exclusive interview with The Punch, dismissed the activities of Turaki's faction, insisting they will not affect the party's chances in the 2027 general elections. He also described the rival faction's action as 419 in quote, and said its claims would eventually fail. Reacting, the Turaki-led Interim National Working Committee, through its publicity secretary Ine Ememobong, vowed not to back down on the ongoing dispute, insisting its position was backed by law and court judgment, while dismissing claims that its INEC nomination forms were fake, adding that only INEC could verify them. And the Supreme Court, in a split 3-2 decision delivered on April 30, nullified the PDP National Convention held in Ibadan on November 15 and 16, 2025, which was backed by Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and produced the Turaki-led leadership. And following the judgment, the Board of Trustees, chaired by Adolphus Wabara, reappointed Turaki and other members into an interim National Working Committee. Since then, the group has continued to operate alongside the PDP leadership recognized by the Independent National Electoral Commission, which Wike aligns with. And meanwhile, the PDP led by Abdurrahman Mohammed and National Secretary Samuel Anyanwu proceeded with the sale of expression of interest and nomination forms to aspirants seeking the party's tickets for the 2027 elections. Well, the Turaki faction, however, maintained a parallel structure and also issued nomination forms to prospective candidates for the forthcoming elections despite lacking INEC recognition, access codes, and commission oversight of its activities or primaries, although some of its candidates displayed INEC nomination forms. I don't know what is happening here. We don't know. Nigerians don't know. The parties, what is happening? The factions, what is happening? INEC itself, are they being teleguided? Are they being teleguided? The Independent National Electoral Commission, are they really independent with what is coming up now? With what Nigerians are listening to now, with what Nigerians are seeing now? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because INEC should be independent. It should just put its foot down on any issue talking about politics here. Well, let's go to some other stories here. And I have... Well, security agencies foil another breach at the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies in Kuru near Jos. You remember, was this sometimes last week, the institute, the Strategic Institute, was attacked by some so-called terrorists or assailants, and it was learned that some security agents were killed, but nothing happened to some members who are attending, their military officers there, civil servants there, attending strategic courses. But now, again, security agencies have foiled another attempt by gunmen to attack the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, Kuru, Plateau State. One of the assailants was killed during the encounter. During the last encounter, I think about 2 or 3 security agents were killed, a member of the army and 2 police officers, I presume. And it was promised that security will be beefed up. And now another one has been planned, and one of the assailants was killed during the encounter. Now, the National Institute was recently attacked, like I said earlier, by gunmen, leading to the death of 3 security personnel. In a statement signed by the Institute's head Public Affairs, Dr. Oseme Samuel, the new attempt by unidentified armed assailants to breach the Institute's security perimeter was successfully repelled by security personnel on Wednesday. Samuel stated that the attackers engaged security operatives in a gun duel but were forced to retreat following the swift and coordinated response of the security forces. And he said further that one of the assailants was killed during the encounter, while others escaped with varying degrees of injuries. Well, give kudos to the renewed efforts of the security operatives there, because I remember, like I said earlier, that when the first attack came up, it was promised that security will be beefed up, and I'm sure this is what one of the steps that contributed to the repelling of the attacks of these terrorists, these criminals. And while one was killed, one assailant was killed, because I don't really know what they want inside that institute. Yes, I don't know what they want. I don't know what these criminals want. I don't know. And most of them, they are people of those inside that institute. Yes, politicians are there, civil servants are there, military personnel are there, police personnel are there. I don't know what they want. They should even be afraid to enter that facility. Yes, but I don't know what they want. And the Institute has reassured participants, yes, staff and their families, and the general public that the security of lives and property remains its highest priority. And that is for that time. Well, before we take some commercial breaks, let me quickly go to this one. Oba of Benin invokes ancestral powers against kidnappers. Others in Edo. Yes, Edo has been a focus for some time now of kidnappers and killings and attacks. Yes, Oba of Benin, Omanobanedo Uku Akpolokpolo Oba Ewuari II, on Wednesday invoked ancestral powers against kidnappers, armed robbers, murderers, and other violent criminals, placing traditional curses on those responsible for insecurity in Edo State and across Nigeria. Of course, those responsible powers that be in the state or even operating from outside. And the spiritual exercise which drew traditional priests, priestesses, and traditional physicians, a YC, from across the Benin Kingdom followed the monarch's directive last week for custodians of African traditional religion to deploy ancient spiritual practices in support of ongoing efforts to tackle insecurity. And the rites commenced with a solemn procession from the Oba's palace in Benin City, as participants adorned in traditional regalia and carrying symbolic spiritual objects marched to the palace entrance amid chants and invocations. And at the palace gate, libations were poured and propitiatory rites performed, while the worshippers called on the ancestors and deities to curse kidnappers, killers, bandits, and their collaborators, praying that they should not know peace until they abandon their criminal activities or face the consequences of their actions. To do this, yes, he has gone ahead. He is not seeking permission from any government. to embark on this move. And well, some people are saying in Oyo State and some other states that fine, they want to embark on this kind of feat, but they should government should give them permission. This Oba is not seeking any permission. He's going ahead and is putting all machinery in place for this to come up. Let's take this break. We'll be back.
Lord Bakadi Diboreo, go get your PVC. Go get your PVC. Olè ó pa ó nínú ètò ìdìbò tó ń bọ̀ 2027. Àwẹ̀ go get your PVC. Iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn àti rédíò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ BCOS Ilé Akéde ló ń gbé sí wa létí pé yára lọ gba káàdì ìdìbò rẹ kó tó di pé gbígbà rẹ̀ máa kásẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ 10 oṣù keje ọdún yìí 10th of July 2026. Pàápàá jùlọ kó o lè bá a kópa nínú àwọn tó máa fìbò sọ̀rọ̀ sókè lọ́dún 2027. Yára lọ gba káàdì ìdìbò rẹ. Àwẹ̀ go get your PVC.
Ìfẹ́ ìyá ò lábàwọ̀ ohun lóhun gbogbo tí ń ṣe. Jọ̀lọ́ọ̀fù ìyá ṣe pàtàkì máa ń fún ní ìtọ́jú ká. Ohun dídì tí ìyá tó dùn mára jí pépé. Àwọn ọbẹ̀ ìyá tó dùn máa ń ṣara ẹbí lóore. Golden Terra oil. Ó ládùn Golden Terra oil. Ṣara lóore Golden Terra oil. Fún ìfẹ́ Golden Terra soya oil.
Golden Terra oil ó máa ń ran ìyá lọ́wọ́ láti dá gbogbo ìfẹ́ rẹ̀ sínú oúnjẹ tó dùn ó ṣara lóore ó ṣe fún gbogbo ẹbí rẹ̀. Golden Terra oil for pure love.
Good tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Golden Terra Smart Balance Oil. Smart Balance Rice Bran Oil is rich in gamma oryzanol. Several studies suggest that gamma oryzanol may contribute to the reduction of bad cholesterol. Golden Terra Smart Balance Oil. Good food, no worries.
No buy am. But why? No see say this big bull bag of rice no get the new big bull holographic seal. Not true.
Introducing the Big Bull Holographic Seal Tape, your favorite authentic Big Bull rice, 50 kg and 25 kg. Now with holographic seal tape. This is to ensure you get the premium product from Big Bull Rice. Do not buy if the holographic seal tape is not on the bag or is broken. Big Bull Rice. Tasty rice nourished you.
Conversation.
Yes, the program is still Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 right here in the city of Ibadan. I'll go straight to the first phase of phone calls here now. But before that, President Bola Tinubu on Thursday jokingly referred to the First Lady, Senator Oluyole Tinubu, as Iya Lakara during a public event in what appeared to be a light-hearted reference to the recent debate sparked by her comments on petty traders. And the president made the remark while acknowledging dignitaries at the Presidential Press Corps dinner held at the State House, Abuja. And a video of the event shared by Asoro TV showed Tinubu smiling as he greeted guests before introducing his wife with the nickname Iya Lakara, Tola Iya Lakara, Mrs. Remi Tinubu. Yes, President Tinubu. Yes, just jokingly. Iya Lakara, yes. The statement that spurred controversies in the past 1 week.
And Nigerians were miffed that the president's wife was asking them to go into Akara business. A lot of our callers too criticized the statement.
Yes.
Well, especially that admonition going to Nigerian youths. That, why should she tell them to be frying Akara? Well, I guess Yalakara. Well, you know that folklore, that story that they used to tell us in those good old days. Onta son si minimu Yalakara do si mi ledu tadi pe Yalakara shere. So the president is jokingly calling the Yalakara Yalakara shere. Well, all that on the lighter notes.
Yes, Tola, talking about the Oluyole saga now, 50 days after Oluyole kidnap saga, hope of rescue beckons amidst fears of uncertainty.
We read all that before.
Yes, but we don't know what is happening.
It's the news of the rescue that we want now, and I'm sure
yes.
that's what Governor Seyi Makinde also wants. That's what everybody that is involved directly in the rescue effort, that is what everyone wants, not news that there is hope. What we want to hear is that they have been released and that they are safe. Even if none of the perpetrators are neutralized or arrested, well, just let's have these people back. Then we can focus on making sure that this doesn't happen again, or even getting the perpetrators arrested.
Now, still talking insecurity, some political stories had gone talking about the ADC ruling, the ADC ruling, which cleared David Mark.
By the way, remember, apologies for coming late. I had quite an awful experience early this morning. My bike man, his tires suddenly went flat, and at the same time the chain of the bike, all at the same time, and it was at a spot where I could not easily get alternative transportation. It took a long time for me to get an alternative. So my apologies, and my apologies to our highly esteemed listeners this morning.
Yes, the ADC issue.
Okay.
Yes, Atiku is vowing to fight back. Atiku vows 2027 fight as court clears Mark-led ADC.
Okay.
So I was now thinking, Mark Alegbeshola's emergence meets ADC rules. Electoral Act court declares.
But what's Alhaji Atiku's grouse? Because it says here that it's saying it's a victory for constitutional democracy and the rule of law.
That is what baffles me, because when I read through the story, I did not really understand what was going on.
2027 fight.
Yes.
That's what he's saying. That is okay. That is going to prove his mettle. The powers that be, the judiciary, the NBA, stakeholders in the powers that be, the judiciary, the NBA, stakeholders in the legal sector did not know that the NDC or the ADC had certain loopholes by which they are not supposed to be on the ballot. It is now at twilight that some people are reminding us that they shouldn't have been on the ballot. So if there is any such plot, I also concur with Alhaji Atiku. I pray that such a plot fails. There should be fair contest. There should be a level playing field, and everyone should be allowed to test their popularity in the court of the people.
Yes, but what I'm still wondering is that I asked that question earlier. Why is former Vice President Atiku Abubakar so desperate to get to that position?
He wants to serve. At least that's what he tells us. He says he wants to serve, and he says he has an idea how to do things differently, how to change Nigeria. Well, that's what they all say. But then, if we don't try, someone risks Nigeria.
Yes, the United States has withdrawn most of its forces deployed for a joint counter-terrorism operation in Nigeria's Lake Chad Basin, and however, the country continues intelligence sharing and other forms of security cooperation with Nigeria. The commander of U.S. Air Forces in Europe Air Forces Africa, General Dagvin R.M. Anderson, disclosed this during a digital press briefing on the outcome of the African Chiefs of Defense Conference 2026, where he highlighted the role of U.S.-Nigeria intelligence cooperation in counter-terrorism operations against the Islamic State, that is the ISIS and Daesh. He explained that while the specific military operation had ended, and he explained that While the specific military operation had ended and most U.S. personnel involved had left, Washington remained committed.
Is a threat to the Americans. So learning that the deputy of ISIS, of course,
yes.
we opened our doors to him, and he came here to roost, just like virtually every terrorist leader from across the world are now finding nets in Nigeria, feathered nets in our environment because of the way we treat terrorists like kings and queens and emperors here. So they came with their troops, and that was the purpose. I guess that was why they came originally. They achieved purpose and they left. So the rest of the war, Boko Haram is no threat to them. Nakurawa is no threat to them. And one Jarmatu, whatever that had a very difficult time describing, calling them their appellation to the other time. So all those ones are not a threat to them, and of course they believe that this is what we a network. So if they were to start to open, they'll be opening a can of worms. They'll be opening Pandora's box, I guess, in Nigeria. So that's why they don't want to, as long as Boko Haram and others, the local ones, are not a threat to them. The killer herders are not really a threat to them. So they will not interfere in that. But of course, they can always oblige us with intelligence sharing and communication gadgets. Whatever we want, we can do with it. Even if those communication gadgets eventually find their way into the hands of the terrorists themselves.
Yes, so like this story that I have here seems kind of funny to me. I don't know, maybe that Ifa priest, maybe he stepped on toes, or maybe he had the divination that he should set himself on fire. Shock as Ogun, Ifa priest sets self on fire, dies. That is a Shodia. Shock and confusion gripped residents of Adebiokmo village in the Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State on Wednesday after a 50-year-old traditional priest, Muritala Shodia, allegedly set himself ablaze. And it was gathered from multiple sources in the community on Thursday that the incident occurred on Wednesday evening when Shodia reportedly doused himself with petrol inside an uncompleted building before setting himself ablaze. The residents, it was gathered, quickly extinguished the fire and rushed him to the General Hospital Ijayi, Abeokuta, where doctors pronounced him dead on Thursday morning. And before the incident, Shodia, popularly known as Ifa, was widely known for fortune-telling and Ifa worship. He had reportedly practiced in Ijayi for several years before relocating to Adebiokmo village. And well, it was also learned that he set himself on fire, and he did not, and yes, he had not been himself since his wife left him for another man. He had been showing signs of depression, the source said.
Oh, could that be the reason? Oh, I don't want to believe that's the reason.
Yes.
Or maybe could it be what Yorubas call AD. The traditional remote control. A voice tells you to go and kill yourself, or to go harm yourself, or to go or to see a DAF truck, heavy duty truck, and then you embrace it as if it's your girlfriend. The moving DAF truck, and then you embrace it as if it's your girlfriend. I don't know if that is what happened. Same also since it's an Ifa priest, whether he stepped on toes, like you said, Bimbo. But then, if well, that must have been a very slow and painful death, Bimbo. He didn't die immediately; was rushed to hospital, and they said he died the following morning. Oh, that must have been a very slow. And
there have been other reasons too. So some are alleging that some people might have set him ablaze. Because he crawled out of the bush.
Okay, maybe they lured him to
the uncompleted building.
So where did the story? So since no one was there, so how come the story that he set himself ablaze?
Yes, it was another resident. Another resident is saying here, he is identified only as Kazim, said villagers rushed to rescue Shodia after seeing him engulfed in flames. I quote him here: "We rushed to the scene to save his life. We put out the fire and took him out to the hospital, but I just heard this morning that he has died," Kazim said. And another quote says, although some people claimed that other people set him on fire, he actually set himself ablaze. He crawled out of the bush while he was on fire.
How did the resident know that? The one who said he set himself ablaze. There must be due and diligent investigation into this. And people shouldn't just assume that because his wife left him and they had been depressed, so that was why he killed himself. Of course, if there's any foul play, and if indeed he was killed, those who killed him might want to sell that narrative, might want to hinge on that narrative. That's exactly what they want people to think, that he killed himself because of his strange wife.
Because I don't believe that it is because of his wife that he now set himself ablaze. His wife that allegedly left him.
But then investigations to establish whether it was a case of him reacting to the fact that his wife left him, or whether there is foul play and he was murdered. Right, let's have this quick commercial break and we'll be back.
When you sprinkle, every meal feels so right. When you stir, the color shines so bright. When you serve, it's pure delight.
From jollof to stews, from soups to sauce, Tastemaker seasoning powder makes everything taste so good. Sprinkle, stir, serve.
Tastemaker.
Ìbá ṣe jọ̀lọ́ọ̀fù, àtàdìdì, kódà àsáró tàbí spaghetti, ṣe oúnjẹ tó ta wọ́n yọ pẹ̀lú pepper terra.
Pepper terra.
Ìtọ́wò tó kí kọ́kọ́ ó wà ní sẹpẹ́ fáàsì ọbẹ̀ àtàdídín àti jọ̀lọ́ọ̀fù aládùn yan àyàn ọlọ́gbọ́n yan góòlù kóró ìsebẹ̀ Terra Gold.
Kọ́rọ́ kan àrà tí ò lópin Terra Gold.
Lọ gba káàdì ìdìbò rẹ o. Go get your PVC. Go get your PVC. O lè kópa o nínú ètò ìdìbò tó ń bọ̀ 2027. Àwẹ̀ go get your PVC. Iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣọ̀n àti rédíò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ BCOS Ilé Akéde ló ń gbé sí wa létí pé yára lọ gba káàdì ìdìbò rẹ kó tó di pé gbígbà rẹ̀ máa kásẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ ní ọjọ́ 10 oṣù keje ọdún yìí 10th of July 2026. Pàápàá jùlọ kó o lè bá a kópa nínú àwọn tó máa fìbò sọ̀rọ̀ sókè lọ́dún 2027. Yára lọ gba káàdì ìdìbò rẹ. Àwẹ̀ go get your PVC.
Ìfẹ́ ìyá ò lábàwọ́n, ohun lóhun gbogbo tí ń ṣe. Jọ̀lọ́ọ̀fù ìyá ṣe pàtàkì, máa ń fún ní ìtọ́jú ká. Ohun dídì tí ìyá tó dùn mára jí pépé. Àwọn ọbẹ̀ ìyá tó dùn máa ń ṣara ẹbí lóore. Golden Terra oil, ọ̀làdùn Golden Terra oil, ṣara lóore. Golden Terra oil, fún ìfẹ́ Golden Terra soya oil.
Golden Terra oil ó máa ń ran ìyá lọ́wọ́ láti dá gbogbo ìfẹ́ rẹ̀ sínú oúnjẹ tó dùn ó ṣara lóore tó ṣe fún gbogbo ẹbí rẹ̀. Golden Terra oil, pour pure love.
Alright, we're back and it's still conversation. Well, as we open the phone lines, the Ghost Presidential Council, Bimbo, and that's supposed to be the Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council, which has the existence of which has been denied by Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila. That agency was supposed to be under his office as Chief of Staff to the President. And he's now saying he's debunking that he knows nothing about that agency that has operated for quite a while and was allocated 1.3 billion naira in the 2026 budget. So what I'm just wondering now, and the presidency has backed Mr. Gbajabiamila on this, while the DG of the agency, Prince Adeyemi Matthew, is insisting that his appointment was genuine, and they said he's ready for prosecution. And so all this while, the agency was allocated 1.3 billion naira, right under the nose of the chief of staff and the president, who actually signed the budget into law. And this red flag was not seen. He operated freely for such a long time, and and it's just now that they are realizing that he has been operating, and that. So I'm just wondering, Bimbo. So I hope Mr. Adeyemi, in the course of prosecution, they said a case has been filed against him based on findings, according to Mr. Bayo Ononuga, presidential spokesman. So I hope Mr. Adeyemi will not be opening a can of worms.
Yes, let him open that can of worms. Let Nigerians know what is really happening. Because something is fishy somewhere.
It's very unlike the presidency to be aware that he had been operating on this well and not to pick him up immediately. Just until and they've still not picked him up. They just said they are filing charges against him.
And a budget has been allocated to his so-called agency. Yes, 070-5555-1985 or 080-5500-9850. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Oh, we lost that. Please do well to call us back. 070-5555-1985.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ababi Fabu.
Good to have you, Mr. Ababi Fabu.
Yeah. I want to protest. I'm not contributing this money. It's actually you will recall that yesterday I said our leaders are insensitive. And at the same time, I don't believe they are doing anything about this kidnapped student from Oluyole. Mr. Bimbo insulted me by saying, don't talk like that. Your language is too harsh. That's becoming the second time he's saying it. Sometime when Oluyole died, the former governor, you were on leave, Mr. Tola.
Okay.
And I phoned into the program and I said, the man rigged the election to become the governor. Mr. Bimbo started insulting me. That was what I said when you came back, that we miss you. Mr. Bimbo does not know me, he does not know my status. He doesn't know my age, he's unprofessional. If you don't want us to contribute to this program, I won't contribute any longer. Thank you very much. I want to launch that protest, and Mr. Bimbo should watch the way he addresses the public. Thank you.
All right,
well, I did not insult you. I had not in any way insulted you. I was just correcting you. No harsh words, no foul languages. That was what I was always saying. And you are protesting now that if we don't want you to contribute on this program again. Well, it depends on you. That if you want, you can. If you don't want, yes, you can always, be on your own. OYO, like they always call BCOS. OYO.
Well, Mr. Ababi Fabumi, I'm sure Mr. Bibo, like you said, never meant to insult you. If you feel insulted, I'm sure. Let's just apologize if indeed you feel insulted, but he never meant it that way. And we always appreciate your kind contributions to the program at any point in time. Every contribution is welcome, is highly esteemed. So please do keep calling, Mr. Ababi Fabumi.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is Akambi Adebayo from you.
Good to have you, Mr. Akambi Adebayo.
God bless you. Indian Independent National Electoral Commission, that INEC, the independent added to it, to me, is a challenge. Right from the times immemorial, those who pay the piper, they say dictate people. The fairest and most freest election in the history of Nigeria general election was that of June of 1993. Because the umpire then was not compromisable. That is as far as I'm concerned, Professor Owusu. The INEC under this present Amukutan have started showing some kind of bias even before the work started in harness. Look at the how they are doing. So I don't like the way they are doing to the other opposition parties. That's number one. For Atiku Abubakar, where I can say that his bid to become president should not be regarded as a desperate ambition. If is not brought into it, it's not very bad. I don't think Atiku is older than Donald Trump. he can still be president. Whereas there is one president in this African country who is now 84 years or thereabouts and is still in power. So there is nothing wrong with him. If no evil is brought into it, that's it. Good morning, sir.
Thank you. 070 5555 1985. That's the number to call.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Denver.
Good morning.
You are late opening your phones today. So, now, on the issue of US withdrawing their troops, United States has always go after their interest. Whenever their interest is finished, they leave again. So they came for their interest. Those who, as Mr. Tola said, those who are a threat to them, that's what they came for. So if you like, solve your problem of Lakurawa on Boko Haram. Let them be taking your children away. Let them be killing your children and sacking your villages. So let them not allow your children to go to school. That is your own problem. So if you like, create a ministry that is not existing. Be taking money out of it. That's your own problem. So thank you. Good morning.
All right. Thank you
very much.
070 5555 1985.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello? Oh, sorry, the line is not clear. I'm just squeezing one more call. 070 5555 1985. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Dr. Inabugo calling from Langate.
Good to have you.
Some people are saying that this regime encourages corruption. But with the handwriting boldly written on the wall, you can see that all people look at what is presently happening to Bagabi Amelia and other people. So current regulations should be done on that. Then the former Kogi governor still want to contest for Senate after that wage of corruption cases against him. I think this is not good in this country. Somebody is in the EFCC and he now want to become a Senate again. This side is more than 70 billion naira we can now account for. It's not good enough. Which kind of leadership is that? And one thing to me is that we say that today's youth are leaders of tomorrow. So we keep blaming those who have been leading Nigeria. What of this time we use